Good evening and welcome to the Northwest Access TV 2019 Awards Night and Annual Meeting. This year also marks the 20th anniversary of Northwest Access Television, providing Franklin County viewers with programming content ranging from educational, athletic, and entertainment to school board, government meetings, and church services. Today, nearly 6,500 Comcast subscribers, plus our on-air presence, keeps viewers informed of local activities throughout the year. Some of the highlights from the past year. Our field equipment was signed out 3,626 times. 3,626 times in the last year. That is incredible. Our studio recorded 225 shows. We had 4 new series that started this past year, 2 of which are still active, and those shows are Recapping the Arts by the Swanton Arts Council and Spotlight on Swanton. Volunteers and staff generated 1,735 hours of programming. That's one of the largest total hours in the state of Vermont. What makes this especially impressive is the fact that Northwest Access Television is a mid-size public access station. So to have that many hours and be a mid-size station is pretty impressive. During the past year, we were awarded our first grant for an equipment purchase in which we were able to outfit the classroom with computers, the classroom that we're standing in or sitting in right now. Plus, we'll be receiving another grant later this year. In addition to a dedicated staff, which Elizabeth will introduce shortly, we're very fortunate to have a board of directors that's very engaged in the future growth of Northwest Access Television. The 2019 Board of Directors are, and if you would please stand as I call your name, I would appreciate it. The officers that are here: Marilyn Grunwald, Vice President; Mike Curtis, Treasurer; Tim Stetson, Secretary; and board members Bryce Batchelder, Michelle Consejo, Virginia Holloman, Tim Hurlbut, and Wesley Kempton. How about a round of applause for the board members that are here tonight? Now, at this time, I'd like to turn the program over to Elizabeth Malone, Executive Director of Northwest Access TV, to present the Community Partners Awards. Elizabeth?
Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming out for our awards night. I do want to invite you to hop up at any point, grab some more food or a drink. Pretty casual group, so make yourselves at home. So I have the pleasure of taking care of the Community Partner Awards tonight, and I wanted to start by saying what a pleasure it is to be in this space. As most of you know, we had very humble beginnings, and we're very fortunate to be in such a beautiful space. And that's something that I hear every week from people who are coming into our building for the first time, and they just say, wow, this is such a beautiful building. And this is more than what we dreamed of. This is a community space, but it's a welcoming space, and it's full of light and possibilities. And we're so thankful to have this. There were many, many hands that went into bringing the wood and metal and earth to life for this building. And none of it would have been possible without Tim Duff and our architectural team from Weeman Lamphere. As someone who is going through the building process for the first time, Tim's expertise, cool-headedness, and insight were invaluable to me and the board. He's the consummate problem solver and brought creativity and a commitment to finding the best way forward to each decision we made. Even after construction was complete, Tim checked in to be sure that the space worked for us and was just what we had dreamed of. and it's much, much more than that. So a big thank you goes out tonight to our first community partner, Tim Duff. Thank you so much. Say anything? So earlier this year, we noticed that our audio repairs were piling up in the storage room. And there have been fewer and fewer options for repairing that equipment. Usually it means paying shipping at a bench fee just to have them looked at. So they had to be sent out to Massachusetts or New York. And we were really debating whether or not it was worth the time and money to repair this equipment. And that's when I kind of remembered way back when we used to know this guy. And for those of you who don't know, the early years of Northwest Access TV overlapped with the latter years of WRSA, which has seen a rebirth, which is exciting. And Mike Raymond was a valuable technical resource for both of us. We reached out to Mike, and he was generous with his time and talents and helped us repair thousands of dollars worth of equipment that can once again serve the community. It's rare to find someone who has the training and gifts that Mike has, and rarer still to find someone who also has the community spirit that he embodies. So many thanks go to our community partner, Mike Raymond. And now I will continue to stand here. Yes, sorry. So just a little update from me. It has been an exciting year. It has been interesting times for sure this year, but we are really blessed to be in our new location as we weathered this regulatory storm. Having this independent location is a big part of designing our future, and being here made it so much easier to manage those changes. The good news is that the cuts brought on by the FCC will have less drastic effects than we first expected. Yeah. And the greatest reason for this is because people spoke up to the FCC and to their elected officials, and they voiced what these impacts would have on their communities. So in the end, cable providers didn't receive the kickbacks that they were hoping for, and we're still viable organizations. So in the coming year, you're going to see many changes in our organization. We will be asking for financial support in ways that we haven't needed to in the past. We'll be re-examining our mission to ensure that we're fulfilling it as the needs of our community dictate and the needs of 2020 dictate. We'll be reaching out to community partners and asking them what their media goals are and how we can help them achieve those goals. We'll also be reaching out to creative individuals that are producing video to ask what tools and training they need to bring their dreams to life. And we'll be reaching inward to explore how we can sustainably meet these community needs and support these dreams. Through all these years in the past and the changes to come, I want to thank you for your support, your inspiration, your generosity, and your belief that this community deserves a place where all voices can be heard. And now we'll be watching a video from our 1999 archive.
Good evening, viewers of Channel 15. I wish to thank you tonight for letting us into your living room, and we'll have a question and answer period with our governor, Governor Howardine. I wish to thank you for coming here and being on our PEG Access tonight on Channel 15. Also to my right is Stan Beauregard, who is in charge of the Ledger Show. Is also president of Channel 15. And on my left is also Mr. Richard Carberthwaite, well-known journalist in this area and has lived in this area for a long time.
This is Neil Spear reporting, your Swan Village president.
Our next presentation, again from the All Arts Council, this would be Dick Harper.
Thank you, Peter. Now, I was born yesterday. Well, actually, 50 years ago, the way most of the other speakers have done.
Let's go in for a quick inspection, shall we? So we have a quick inspection. Really? That's great. Big expansion.
Tim Burgess, good afternoon and welcome to Channel 15.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Dean, and this is Dorothy Balduke and Mr. Parent, Alan Parent, who are running for state representative each.
Thank you very much, Andy. You bring up hockey, and I'm thinking back on that wonderful game, and fitting hockey into your schedule at Washington is not an easy thing to do, but I just want to give you a little anecdotal story on that. Hi, everyone. It's Hyper Yo-Yo Official Tricks time. Be cool.
How you doing, ma'am? I see you just came out of Ames Department Store. I see you must be looking at all the sales that are going on in there.
Yes, I am.
So, as you know, Ames Department Store is going out of business. It's too bad. They've been here for quite a few years, and it's sad to see another store go out of business in this area. Of course, not only here, but all throughout the United States, they're going out of business. If you're to see another store come in this area, what type of store would you like to see?
I'd like to see Walmart come into St. Albans.
Today in our studio we have Mr. Dick Day, who's a property rights activist and is doing some research and filing petitions and also asking for the last item that you just did the other day was ask for impeachment of Judge Dooley, Supreme Justice.
That's correct. Good afternoon, David.
I'd like to introduce Planning Committee members Jennifer Savage, who's the Community Relations Specialist for Northwestern Medical Center, and Jeff Moreau, who's the Executive Director for the Franklin Grand Isle United Way.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Who's this?
Zachary. Zachary, not Clue.
Zachary.
What?
How old are you?
4.
4? And what did you want for Christmas?
What happens if Bernie runs?
Well, that'd be very interesting, won't it? He's feeling the pulse of the electorate now, I guess, and deciding with his family whether he wants to become a candidate for governor. That poll on public radio suggested that most Vermonters would like to see him remain in Washington.
I wish to thank the viewers today of letting us coming into their living room, and so thank you, viewers of Channel 15, and have a nice day.
Was thanks to Marty, who's in the back there, and this is a good opportunity to thank all the staff that's here tonight. Paul and Zach also helped to put on the event. Zach's in the control room. If you didn't see him yet, give him a wave on your way out. We also have Roger here somewhere. I think he's also doing technical assistance. And Heather is here, Joanne is here, and Jerry is here. I'd also like to thank Emmett, Alan, and Lane, who are actually covering events right now in the field. That's the hard part of recognizing staff on these nights, is that we're not a 9-to-5 business, so we have a lot of folks out doing our work right now. So this year, though, we wanted to begin a tradition of recognizing the years of hard work, the long nights, and even longer meetings that staff members have served the community. So we're starting with recognizing folks who have been with the organization for 5 or in some case, many more years than that. So the first person is Sarah Parsons West, who is at 5 years. She's not here tonight. Lane McElree has been with us for 7 years. He is also out working. And next is Jerry Vasey, who's been with us for 7 years. That's true. Jerry started as a volunteer in 1999. Yeah. And next we have Heather Buchkowski, who's been with us for 8 years.
I'd just like to say thank you for being an awesome boss.
Oh.
Thanks for tolerating my hair.
It's great. And this last person, we owe her many, many glasses in the years to come. Joanne has worked for us for 16 years, but I believe has volunteered for us for 19 or 20. So come on up, Joanne. And next, I'm going to turn it over to Paul for a special staff award.
So this next award goes to a person who asks a lot of questions, and it's not their fault. When they're the rookie videographer, you tend to ask a lot of questions because you want to learn something new every day. But day in and day out, this person has continued to develop and really going above and beyond. I feel that the stigma of public access is that it's messy and it's strung together, but with this person, our quality has improved immensely, and we thank them. So with that, it's an honor to present the Rookie Award to Roger Lindola. Yes, sir.
And I have the pleasure of presenting the next award. And it takes a whole lot of people. You're all here in this room to make this work, right? And to keep this programming alive. This next person, the person that we're going to present this award to, is a very driven individual, is one way that we could describe him. Over the last year, he's deeply expanded the contract work here at Northwest Access as we continue to look at how can we continue to be a media center into the future. We've heard rave reviews from our community partners who work on projects with him. And in fact, some of you may be here in this very room. He's the in-house staff morale booster. He always stays positive. We all know how tough that can be, right? All of the time, he's very focused, even during the dark times. He's rebuilt Northwest Access's sports underwriting structure and is building a strong sports network. And I can't say that I'm into sports a lot, but from what I hear, I would dare say the strongest among PEG TV stations. He regularly wins regional industry awards for the videos he produces, and he's working hard on expanding relationships with all of the local schools in the area. So I'd like us all to put our hands together for Paul Snyder, our programming coordinator.
Did I get something? Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So I'm actually not going to keep the suspense up for who I am honoring tonight. If I know he's back in the control room, Zach, if you would mind coming out here. So I have the pleasure of recognizing Zach tonight, and Zach and I have known each other for a very long time, going back to Backpack Theater when we were in school. And he was actually the reason that I first got involved with Northwest Access TV. But in thinking of what I appreciate about Zach, three things came to mind for me. And first, it's his vision, right? Zach is a guy who continually asks, what aren't we doing that we could be doing? What tools don't we have that we could have? What spaces could we push into that we aren't already? And in both little, smaller scale things like Northwest Nightmares or helping out with sports coverage to bigger picture things like where is the TV station going as a whole? I've always appreciated that voice in the conversation, and those are the kinds of questions that help push us forward. The second thing I really appreciate is his passion, that when Zach gets excited about a project, he jumps in head first and gets everybody else excited along with him, and that's just part of his personality and why I like hanging out with him as a person anyway. But also in our extensive conversations about digital media in general and local media, he keeps saying this is a labor of love for him, right? That he loves his community and he loves local media, and I think we have all felt that as we've worked with him over the years. And the last thing that really sticks out to me is, well, this is true of all of our staff here, but Zach is exceptionally skilled at what he does. And that's not always common to find at local access TV stations. So that's something that we don't want to take for granted, and we're all exceptionally grateful for. And any crazy media idea that I have, Zach is always one of the first people that I talk to. And somehow, right off the bat, he knows exactly what we need to do to get it done. So, Zach, I think I speak for all of us here when we say we appreciate you and thank you for everything you do for the station and for the community.
One thing we wouldn't be here at Northwest TV is without programming, and a lot of our community producers, we really rely on you guys to put together a product to be able to share with the community. And one thing we've done for a while now is to acknowledge when these shows hit milestones. So the first milestone I'm going to give out to is our 25 episodes. Now this person has upwards of 40, I think, right now. But I have a feeling that he's going to have a lot more in the coming months and year. So this one goes to Nick Mumley and Dustin Tanner for Inside Group. Sweet logo on that shirt too. That's whoever made that, I'm telling you, knew what they were doing. This next one is for two people that I guess aren't here. Maybe their invite got lost in the interwebs. It goes to James Cross and Andy Gregoire for their Legend of the Nerds show. They hit exactly 100 episodes, and then they said, okay, we're way too busy. We need to stop doing this. So this will go to them. We'll find a way to get to them for sure. This next one was kind of a funny milestone because we were talking about milestones, and then someone said, well, what about me? I've been producing every single week for you guys. I went, oh, I didn't really think about that because churches always send in their stuff every week. We didn't think about how many milestones have they reached. And for the other churches that have sent in their productions every week, they're up there. They're we kind of stray away from the how many shows they have and more into years. But for this person, we'd like to recognize them for 100 episodes and counting to Tim Stetson for Life in Christ. Yeah, return the favor. There you go. So another, I need that little remote there. Give me a second. So another award that we give out every year goes to someone in the community that's really has really just started. And the ceiling they haven't really reached yet. There's so much there, there's so much potential, and they're really doing a great job. And it's someone that really comes to us every week with new ideas and is really progressing. And we see a lot in. We think that they're gonna make it somewhere. They're gonna do a lot of great things. So this next video will help us describe who that person is.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Franklin County Field Days here in Highgate, Vermont. And tonight, the best night, the first night of Franklin County Field Days. It is the Demolition Derby happening right behind me here. It'll be getting going here in just a few minutes. We're going to see some wrecked cars. Maybe we'll see some tempers flare. I'm your host, Nick Mumley. I'll take you with me through tonight's action. You can catch me Mondays on Northwest Access TV on the Inside Groove live at 7 o'clock. So tune into that.
So Nick has a really big passion for auto racing and local racing, along with the fact that he loves NASCAR. So, he came to me a couple years ago and said, hey, would you be interested in doing this show called The Inside Groove? And he's willing to go down to Thunder Road on Thursdays, on Saturdays, on Sunday. He's been around to some of the local tracks because he really cares about this stuff. And bringing those stories to light is something that you don't really see anymore. And, not to sound old, but young people do not have the same amount of motivation that Nick has when it comes to the subject. And also being besides him for winter sports, he's just done such a great job of this. The way he prepares, the way he brings himself every single game. I remember last year we started doing hockey games together more and more, and he would have a big board, roster, lineups, names, all the things that you would see on a professional broadcast. He knows how to set that up and how to do that.
Win parity in his last season is going to bring a title home to Swanton. The Thunderbirds are state champions.
He's got such a passion for this. He's very good at this. He's very good at choosing the stories. He's good at working the local guys in. He's good at going to a track like Thunder Road and getting those stories out. It gives you a little faith in some young people when you see somebody who's so dedicated to a task, who wants to work so hard at something like this. You have to be working really hard. You have to be pounding pavement. You have to be calling in your connections, and Nick has had to work hard to get those connections.
This one's popped up. In comes DeSaro. They will send Harvey. She's out at the plate. And BFA will win the state championship. Unbelievable. BFA doubles up. Sarah Harvey at the plate. Kaylin DeSaro with a Jackie Bradley Jr.-like throw to win the title.
I'm very thankful to be working with you, Nick, on this project. This project has been a lot of fun. Every Monday or Tuesday night, coming in, doing the show, having the content. It's been very enjoyable working alongside you.
So with that, we'd like to present the Rising Star Award to Nick Mumley.
Okay, so tonight it's my pleasure to present the Founders Award. In its second year, this award is reserved for a select few. Where did it all begin, this idea of Northwest Access Television? Northwest Access Television was the brainchild of Larry Dugan and Stan Beauregard. And as you might imagine, it's always easy launching, or it wasn't easy launching this station, or any station for that matter. After about 3 years of research, recruiting, and requesting, the organization was finally up and running 20 years ago in 1999. Stan applied to the Public Service Board and Frontier Vision for funding and the fledgling organization. It was a very laborious process. Our original studio space was made possible because of the timing of BFA's acquisition of the former St. Albans Hospital building. At that time, Stan served on the BFA Board of Trustees. While Stan did much of the written and organizational work, Larry did a lot of the recording programs. Larry, with technical assistance from BFA media teacher Joyce Kemp, recorded church services, dance recitals, and Rotary meetings. When Stan left the board in the early 2000s, Larry took over as board president. Larry served as president until the late 2000s. Stan, who passed away during 2015, had not only these, but numerous accomplishments during his lifetime, amazingly all while being visually impaired. And now it's time to present this year's Founders Award. And this year's recipient is Mike Curtis. Don't fall over, Mike. I said that I wish I could have captured that look that I just saw. That was priceless. Mike became a valuable asset to the organization during our building process as he shared his experience as a commercial lender and nonprofit board leader with our building committee. That was in addition to his experience of helping other nonprofit organizations with building projects, such as Northwestern Counseling and Support Services, when they were building the Family Center a little over 10 years ago. Mike also was instrumental in the expansion of the St. Albans Library. His years of professional and volunteer service make him a treasure to any organization. He has a unique gift for matching extraordinary financial acumen with the ability to explain even the most technical jargon in a way that enlightens and informs people of all knowledge levels. Since Mike will be moving to Florida, his absence from Franklin County community will be felt by our organization and others who have benefited from his generosity of time and talent. The Founders Award, a meaningful and memorable reminder of our past and present, is proudly displayed in the lobby for all visitors to see. Congratulations to Mike Curtis on being recognized with this prestigious award. And at this time, I'd like Mike to come forward. Mike?
Thank you very much. Is he up there with both Larry and Stan? Is quite an
Now, yes, however, since Mike is moving to Florida and the award stays here, he has to have something in Florida to remind him of all the great work he did here. So, Mike, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And now I'd like to turn the program over to Tim Stetson for the board elections. Tim?
And I'd like to ask for a report from the nominating committee. Okay, now I don't know if we should ask for a second for that or not.
I nominate Joe Alco.
Very good. Excellent. That is the recommendation of the nominating committee. I would entertain a second to that motion. And a second by Marilyn. And a vote. All of those in favor of the slate of officers as presented, please signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. Oh, by the way, before I go, though, if you would like to have fun with us on the board, if you have any interest, and we do have fun, and yeah, you know, we get on each other's nerves once in a while, but we do all kinds of great stuff. Oh, wait, no, I'm a pastor. That's what I'm supposed to do. Oh, wait, you are too, so you're looking back. If you have any interest in serving on the board, please be sure to let one of us or one of the staff know, because we do each year. It's a rotating board, and we always love to add additional people to the board that really have a love for the same mission that we all have that are sitting here in this room. So thank you all.
You know, the one thing that is so exciting about this organization is the fact that as I look around and look at PEG access stations, not only around Vermont, but around the country, with the staff that we currently have with this organization, I truly do believe that we have the opportunity to be a shining star, not only in Franklin County and in Vermont, but throughout the country with some of the things that our folks have as ideas and concepts to go forward. We are living in a new media age today, one that is unlike any other time in history. And one of the things that an organization like ours can do is try to latch on to as many of those concepts as possible to take us to the next level. So when you look at it, you say, okay, the starting point is we have around 6,500 homes that are Comcast subscribers throughout Franklin, Grand Isle County. That's great. Or Franklin County, I'm sorry. But that's the starting point. And you go from there with the digital age that we're in, and what are the opportunities that we can take advantage of? We have people now who are sitting in Florida, where Mike will be, who can watch streaming athletic events from high schools in our county. That wasn't the case 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago when this organization began. There are just so many opportunities out there, and it's a matter of just trying to pull everything together and make the most of what we can with the great staff that we have. And that's why I know that the board members are very excited about not only today, but the future of this organization. And I truly believe that this organization will become the media center for Franklin County, and that all points will go from Northwest Access Television. It'll take a little bit of time. There's a lot of creativity that will be required. However, we have the people, we have the knowledge and the passion to make that happen. So I want to thank all of you for being here this evening. It has been a great year. As Elizabeth said, it has not been a year without challenges, because we were very concerned, the staff as well as the board, about what could have been with some of the FCC rulings, et cetera, et cetera. Comcast, which is our friend, but it's also sometimes not so much our friend, because let's be realistic, is that we exist because of the fact that for them to have the right to broadcast in this state, you have to have local programming available. And without local programming, everything that you see, as you know, is on a national or international level. The beauty of Northwest Access is the fact that we can continue to show locally what is happening in our community to those who reside here. So again, with that being said, I want to thank all of you for being here this evening. And please, there's still food, there's beverages. If you haven't had a tour of the studio, please take advantage of that. And again, thank you very much for being here this evening, and have a great evening. Thanks.